Today we're here with Anthony Torino inside Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club in San Antonio. Now Anthony, how long have you been doing comedy?
Just about 5 years. Another couple of months, about 5 years.
Alright, and what's your favorite thing about doing comedy?
Writing the joke.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of process do you go through to write your material?
Probably sort of like free association. I will see something or think of something, and then I just start writing down everything that pops into my mind about that thing. And then sort of look at all the words on the paper, and it starts to come together as a joke. Like certain parts get eliminated, certain parts start to connect to each other, and then it just sort of begins to form the joke. But I never try to write the joke. I just try to write down the premise and everything that's associated with that, and then the joke is on the page. You just got to find it then.
So I'm down in the parking garage earlier, and I see a big girl in a smart car. And on her other foot, she had a Mini Cooper. Must have been her friend sitting next to the entrance to the elevator. She's like 500 pounds, had a mustache, she's smoking a cigarette. I go towards the elevator, she's like, "Excuse me." I'm like, "What?" "Can you walk me to my car?" "For what?" "I don't want anybody to rape me." You gonna be all right. You can go to your car naked with $100 bills sticking out of your ass crack. You're gonna make it just fine. My friend hates those jokes. He says he likes big girls. He says he's a chubby chaser. Have you ever heard of that? A chubby chaser. They're running? I would have never guessed.
Okay. So what has been your favorite joke that you've done so far?
Wow.
It doesn't have to be the one that got the best laugh, just your favorite.
Yeah, okay. One of my favorites is one that doesn't get a whole lot of laughs. It is, I make fun of alcoholism, that it is not a disease. So sort of the joke is if a cop can diagnose your disease on the side of the road by asking you to walk a straight line and touch your nose, you really don't have a disease. If the cure for your disease is just say no, you don't have a disease. You don't see women with breast cancer screaming, "No!" That's a real fucking disease. So, because I mean that. I was an alcohol and drug counselor for years, and I don't think it's a disease. So I like to talk about serious things and make light of them, and also make the point that this isn't really a disease.
Yeah.
So.
A couple of months ago, I dated an older woman. She had an 18-year-old daughter living with her. She's gonna go out one night. She comes in with these little booty shorts. You know what I'm talking about? Cut off top, no bra. Oh. I'm like, "You gonna let her go out like that?" "Yes, I am." "What's the problem?" "She's going to end up pregnant." "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Go on, honey." Last night I get the call. Pick up the phone. "She's pregnant." I'm like, "Why are you calling me?" "She said you're the dad." I'm like, "I warned you. I fucking warned you. I tried to tell you. I don't fucking listen."
I'm sure that there's been plenty of times where you've gone up there, maybe when you were just starting out and you flopped or whatever. So do you have any advice for the new comedians?
Oh, this is going to come out so wrong. I've had 2 times I've gone up and flopped.
Yeah.
And I probably go up on open mic 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah.
I take the open mic 10 times more serious than a show. Because a show, I'm only doing material that works. And an open mic, every week, my plan, every week, my week starts on Tuesday if I'm in town at LOL. I bring 5 new minutes every week. That's always my goal, that's what I do. So when I bring that 5 minutes in, I have no idea if I'm gonna lay a pile of shit or it's gonna be hilarious. And I'm hoping it's gonna be hilarious, and I've written it to be hilarious. And now, you know, almost 5 years into it, if, say I write 10 jokes for that 5 minutes, I've got to the point where 7 usually work really well. Whereas when I first started, maybe only 3 worked really well, and the other ones did okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the success rate's higher now, but I take open mic, I get nervous on open mic because it's new material. The show, oh my God, that's a walk in the park because you're only doing shit that works.
Yeah.
It's summertime, and somehow this morning I got a $400 ticket in a school zone. Yeah. And I didn't hit with 2 kids. I'm like, holy shit, that's $200 a kid. Plus the first kid, I barely grazed him. But that second little Mexican kid, I knew I hit him pretty good. Because there was candy everywhere. But I'm not without compassion, right? I pulled up to him, he's laying there, I can see the bone with some blood. I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, call 911. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Cell phone use is prohibited in a school zone. You're not gonna get me twice. Walk it off me, huh? You're fine. You're fine. Rub a hang on it.
Now, so what do you mostly draw your inspiration from? Just anything you see, or is there like?
Well, I was a counselor and a therapist. I was an occupational therapist, and I'm a master's degree in counseling, other degrees in psychology and occupational therapy. People do a lot of stupid shit, and I would see them in my office. You know, like, my husband's alcoholic. Can you believe that? Well, where'd you meet him? At a bar. That's where they fucking hang out. You know, and it's that simple.
Yeah.
In the professional environment. Like, Jesus Christ, you know, my kid's fat. Explain that. Well, you weigh 400 pounds. There's the explanation.
Yeah.
You know, it's that simple. So I try to bring that to stage. Like, I'm actually trying to help people with some jokes. You know, and say, look, this is how ridiculous this is.
Yeah.
And then I have like the way I love George Carlin and I love Chris Rock.
Yeah.
And they both make social statements with a lot of their jokes, especially Carlin. So there's a part where I want to do that, but people don't want to hear that for 45 minutes. So you got to, as Carlin said, you got to do a couple of dick jokes.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll do the dick jokes. I do so a lot of it comes from my life and being in relationships. It comes from being 49 years old and being in a profession where most people are in their 20s. And there's a huge difference. I've never played a video game.
Yeah.
And never.
Okay.
I've never had a drop of alcohol. So
okay.
I've never been in a bar till I started comedy.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So this is all new to me, so I don't see it the way y'all see it. You've been around it. It's
like weed and stuff?
Never done any kind of drug. I used a pain pill one time when I had my knee reconstructed.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So when I walked into a bar, I was like, I didn't really know these places existed, that somebody would sit at a bar for hours on end. I thought that was only in the movies.
Yeah.
And just that kind of shit. So I saw it completely different than people that see it every day. So just things like that. Stupidity bothers me. Like, you know, the joke I'm going to do tonight, that's a text message hovering above the highway that's telling us don't text.
Yeah.
That is unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
Not 30 minutes later, I get a little fender bender. Cops called out. Cops arrive at the exit site. First fucking question SAPD asked, were you texting and driving? I'm like, no, I wasn't texting and driving. Well, tell me what happened. I said, I'll tell you what, I was distracted. And what per se distracted you? And I'm like, I'll tell you what distracted me. That giant fucking text message hovering above 410. You know, the one says, drive now, text when you get home. Like, that's a fucking text message. Who's sending that? The Department of Public Safety. Who do you work for? Department of Public Safety. I'm gonna need to see your license and registration. You should fucking know better.
And right now they got the message up there that says, don't leave your car alone, don't leave your kid in the car alone. That misses the whole fucking point. The point is that it's hot in the car. They don't even mention the hot car. So if I put her in there, if I put, you know, my nephew in there with my niece, they're not alone in the car. So technically I'm not illegal. Yeah, exactly. The point is it's hot in the car. Yeah, and I'm like, this is so stupid. So just things like that. And you see that a lot in life, you know, in 30 years of being a therapist and a counselor, you're like, wow, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then just, I enjoy saying the things that no one says, that people think and don't have the courage to say.
Yeah.
You know, like the other night I did it, why do they call this a lazy river? There are only black people in it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny, people laugh at that. I don't mean it to be offensive, but there's racism, let's acknowledge it. I think it's ridiculous that we pretend it doesn't exist.
The guy that was sitting next to me, he was like, he couldn't say that shit in Houston and walk out to his car alone.
See, and that's absolutely untrue. I do all the urban clubs and I do all those jokes.
Yeah.
I attack.
The problem is when you don't do those jokes in front of those crowds, because then you really look like a racist.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, and I have just sets. I have a, and I may do it tonight. I have like a 4-minute set on Black History. And I'm on the side of Black history, but I make fun, because I'm from Alabama originally, but I also am a civil rights activist, and I helped write the book that went with the monument that of the people who died in civil rights.
I'm originally from Alabama. Thank you. Quite pisses me off when I say that, no one's ever fucking surprised. Like, he looks like he's from Alabama. But what gets me and my fucking relatives are still pissed off about Black History Month, and it's July. Right? They fucking drive me crazy during Black History Month. I get like 2 or 3 phone calls a day. I don't see no White History Month. Where the fuck's White History Month? Oh, I see Black History Month. I'm like, calm down. If it doesn't say black in front of it, if it doesn't say white.
Actually, that's me.
If it doesn't say black in front of it, it's White History Month. And it's not nearly as bad as a few years back. Oh my God, I must have got 50 phone calls on the last day of February. Right, finally I pick up the phone. You see that black Muslim president done added a day to Black History Month? Uncle Lester, it's leap year. I know they can jump. I'm oh shit. Now this is trying to hate crime. But I'm like I tell my Alabama relatives, I'm like, fucking enjoy your racism while you can. If you're racist, enjoy it while you can. In 50 years, racism's gonna be dead. Okay, we already have the solution for racism. Race mixing. Right? In America nowadays, the uterus is America's new melting pot. Because I'm old enough, when I was a kid, and you met somebody, you knew what the fuck they were. They were white, they were Mexican, they were black. You meet somebody now, you don't know what the fuck they are. Like, I'm a quarter Puerto Rican, I'm 1/16 Native American, I'm 1/32nd, whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Before I figure out if I hate you, I gotta find a common denominator and cross-multiply. Like, the only thing white people hate worse than minorities, fractions. And of course, these hillbillies came down for Black History Month this year. Of course, they took the bus. So I gotta go down to the bus station to pick them up. I walk in the reception area. My aunt is sitting there in the middle of the reception area breastfeeding my 5-year-old nephew. I'm like, oh, bitch, nobody wants to sit there. Put that shit up. And what do you mean? This right here is natural. It's perfectly natural. Like, natural, he's adopted.
I'm a civil rights activist, but sometimes the way to make that point is, you know, one of the first jokes is my relatives who were in the Klan are, why ain't there any White History Month? I don't see White History Month. I'm like, if it doesn't say black in front of it, it's White History Month. Because that's the truth, and it just works off of that, you know. Black guys don't eat pussy. That's nasty. Well, it's not nastier than pig's feet and neck bones. You know what I mean? So, and that's the joke I do at the urban clubs, and they go berserk because it's true. You know, so it's, if you tell the truth and you mean it, you get away with it. Because people say that I get to say things that no one else gets to say, and it's because I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm trying to make you think about this. And I mean what I'm saying. You know, and
it's not just something you're saying just to say it.
To just be offensive. I'm actually making it, and I'm going to do that tonight, the Mexican argument, and it sounds horribly racist.
Yes.
But have you heard it before?
No, but I want to hear it.
But it is absolutely true. And as you're sitting there, because people on the first one are like, oh, and then by the second part they're like, that's true. And by the end, the other night, they're, ah, shit, he's right. And it sounded horribly racist till I got to the end, and they're like, oh shit, that's true. So I love things like that, and I love exposing scams. I'm working on one now about the American Cancer Society as a scam. And you know, it's a serious subject. How do you turn that into a joke? So I love doing all different. I don't do props. I don't do dancing around. That's not me. But I do serious jokes, serious issues. I do silly stuff, relationship stuff, sex stuff. I love writing a good rape joke. I love a great rape joke. At the open mic last night, I did 7 in a row. They just chain them together. And I can do what? Because it's not a rape joke. This is a true stat. 20% of rape victims have an orgasm. That's shocking. It also pissed me off because that's better than my batting average in sensual sex. So it's really a joke about me and my incompetence in sex. But I wanted people to know that that's a fact, because that's a true fact. 20% of women have an orgasm and they feel guilty and won't call the cops. So by exposing that, it educates people.
So if you're gonna rape somebody, I guess you have to be good at it.
Yes, you hopefully.
You got to be part of that 20%.
Exactly.
Make sure they
Then they don't complain. Exactly. Look, just hold it. Just hang in there. I'm gonna get this right. So I follow that with now people are like, oh, I'm like, well, last month I started a rape prevention program, which involves me staying at home on the weekends. That's another shot against me, and it just rolls like that. And none of them are actually rape jokes. They're jokes about me.
They just have
right. So and I got mad because they jumped on Daniel Tosh. What he said was horribly offensive and bad.
Which one?
Where he said some lady heckled him in the crowd, and he said, "I hope 7 guys gain weight." Okay, first of all, that made me mad because that was a horrible response for a professional comedian. But and it wasn't funny. But I'm like, you can't do rape jokes. I'm like, yes, you can. If they're done properly, they're hilarious. But they have to be done properly.
Jezelyn has really good rape jokes.
So does Sarah Silverman. You know what I mean? And see, she can get away with it because she's a woman.
Yeah, we were just talking about that with Brandy last week. That she's so sweet and innocent. She'll say stuff that a lot of guys won't say.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love watching her.
Yeah, I was watching A Million Ways to Die in the West again last night. I fucking love her in that. Is there anyone currently you like right now? Any current comedian?
Popular comedian?
Yeah.
God, I hate to say no. No, I don't. I mean, I love. What's the girl who has the show on Comedy Central? Amy Schumer. I enjoy her show.
She does a lot of rape jokes.
Yes, and I enjoy her because she's sort of on the edge, and her sketches are funny. But she's one. I despise the 2 black guys that have the show.
Key and Peele?
I hate their show. I've tried 4 times to watch it. And
I've never tried to watch it. I've seen some pretty funny skits here and there, but I've never like.
It's just pure silliness to me, and I don't like silly. You know what I mean? So
it's like silly mixed with race.
Yes, and it's a lot of race thing. It's almost like white guys dance like this, and I'm like, God, that was so 30 years ago. You know, when in the 80s, when I was 20 years old, people were doing that kind of crap, and that's done to death. Why are you still doing that? And if you're going to do it in an original way. You know what I mean? So there's okay. Well, of course, I love Louis C.K. You know, who doesn't? I think everyone does, right? So he's like the legend of our time, I think. But I'm still anything Chris Rock puts out. Of course, George Carlin's dead, but I still go back and watch his stuff.
I love George Carlin. He was one of the first comedians I ever watched. But Louis C.K. is a real big comedian.
Well, you know what was funny about Carlin was, I mean, I'm old enough that I saw Carlin when he came up live on TV. You know, I was born in '65. So when he became a hippie, I was already 6 years old because he wasn't a hippie for 10 years. A lot of people don't know that before. He was a straight comedian that wasn't a hippie. But with him, you remember it like, oh my God, he was so funny. And but as a comedian, when I went back to watch his tapes, I'm like, holy shit. He went for 5, 6, 7 minutes without a laugh, where he was kind of preaching to me. And I'm like, wow, that takes a tremendous amount of confidence, and also takes a loyal following that came there to hear you preach. Because you can't get away with that at this club unless you have a following. You can't sit up here 7 minutes without a laugh. That just doesn't work for a newer comedian. But I was shocked at how these huge spans he went where there was no laughter, where he was just setting up this premise and then he's going to run through it in 15 minutes and it's going to get laughs. But there might be 5, 6 minutes where there's no laughs and I'm like, holy shit. I have trouble if I go more than 30 minutes without 30 seconds without a laugh.
30 minutes without a laugh?
I go 30 seconds without a laugh and I start to feel like I'm cheating somebody and I need to make them laugh right here.
I'm like, ooh, I'm not delivering now. Like this is no longer the crowd.
Right. That's why I love Raul Sanchez. Have you seen him?
Which one?
He's a local guy, one funniest in Texas. He tells a story and sometimes he'll go 2 minutes without a laugh. But he never leaves character, he never leaves the story, he never leaves the emotion. And I do a lot of shows with him, we tour. And I'm like, holy moly, I watch him every time, even though, because I'm like, I need to be able to do that. Because there's stories I want to tell, but I get uncomfortable around the 30-second mark if there's not a punchline, and he doesn't. He'll go 2 minutes straight without one. And I'm like, okay, I want to.
I feel kind of bad. This morning I got an argument with my Mexican friend. Like, look, the comics are, he ain't got no Mexican friends. Like, yes, I do. What's your name? My Mexican friend's name? It's, his name is, Gardner. And Gardner was saying, white people don't want Mexicans in charge because we're racist. I mean, that's not it. White people don't want Mexicans in charge because of Mexico. Have you been to fucking Mexico? They're cutting off fuckers' heads. I went to Mexico 20 years ago, someone was riding a fucking donkey. I'm like, that's why we don't want, it's like traveling back in time. I mean, let's be honest. What's the last thing a Mexican invented? The Macarena? I mean, what have they been doing? We've had America for a couple hundred years. Look what we've done. Mexicans have had Mexico for thousands of years. What the fuck are you doing with your research and development money? I mean, sure, I'm gonna give you credit where credit. You perfected the art of pulling the center out of the egg and replace it with confetti. But you still can't drink the fucking water. Prioritize, Mexicans. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I understand they want to come here. It's a fucking step up. Mexico to the U.S. it's a step up. I understand that. I'm from Alabama. I moved to Texas. That's a fucking step up. In Alabama, you can have sex with your cousin. In Texas, at least your cousin has to be the opposite sex. And I'm going to say this too. If you come to this country, speak fucking English. Speak English. What would you do? Speak Spanish? First of all, Mexican, Spanish ain't even your language. That's just like a fucking Mexican to come to this country and try to sell a white man some shit he stole from somebody else. Like, if you want to come to this country, you speak the language of America. The language America invented. Ain't English. Never mind, my bad.
Well, can we find you online anywhere?
I'm on the Crosshairs Comedy. That's my military group. We have a website there. You can get me on Facebook, Anthony Torino, Twitter, Anthony Torino X. And that's about it right now.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming out. We look forward to seeing you today.
You bet.
I'm like, what's up, I still don't give no fucks, so what?